that I'm able to make his game easy for him as it pertains to ball handling and all that. It really doesn't matter. There's many different ways you can impact the game without having the ball in your hands.
Great. Gotta bring in one of the best to do it on television. Slick Rick. You Grammy analyst, Slick Rick. But Sel, you up first.
No, I'm not.
Okay, you're not up first. Slick Rick, you up first.
Yeah.
Will Russell Westbrook be a good fit with LeBron?
Yes, in the regular season. No, not in the playoffs.
Okay, go there.
Actually, this combination of LeBron and Russ is one of the elements that I'm least worried about. But let's start there because that's the question. Russ's superpower is what? That he plays hard and fast every single night, no matter what. Well, the problem is, while that gives you an edge in the regular season, and it's exactly what LeBron needs next to him at this point in his career, in the playoffs, everybody plays hard. Everybody goes at it with full gusto in the postseason. What you have to rely on is being able to play a little slower and methodically and relying on precision and execution and efficiency. And that's where Russ Westbrook falters, particularly now at this point in his career. If you look at what he's done during the regular season, the marks are still rather impressive. But every time we get to the postseason, it takes a header because the game changes. And the way Westbrook plays, once everybody's geared up to meet his energy and intensity, well, now it's a matter of let's figure out how we can make the game difficult on Russ. And it's not that hard to do. And so when it comes to the combination, look, they'll figure it out. He's played with any number of superstars over the years. Bradley Beal, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant. Like, partnering with another superstar is not the issue. It's a matter of how can I be efficient in the postseason within his own game? And that's where I see this faltering.
Cosign, cosign, cosign. Sel always tells me, and I listen to my dog, even though I try to act like I don't so he doesn't get too prideful. He always tells me styles make fights. Well, styles also make teams. And the style that Russell Westbrook and LeBron James both currently play with, I don't know that it makes for the greatest team. I need to make sure I see Slick Rick during the course of this conversation so he can correct me where I'm wrong or cosign as need be. I think about this, Slick. The Wizards, Russell Westbrook squad last year, they played with the #1 pace, fastest pace. Boom, just up and down the court, up and down the court. But the Lakers were 16th out of 30 as it pertains to pace. Look at the Rockets the year before where Russell Westbrook was a part of. They were 3rd in pace. I think about it like this, Slick. In previous relationships, I was the person who always liked to work out. Why? Because I'm a former pro athlete. Of course, I should work out more than my partner at the time. But the problem is, Slick Rick, I'm like, okay, we got to finish this lap in 40 seconds, but we're a team. We got to do it together. Next thing you know, I end up dragging the person I'm dating around the track, trying to make sure we finish this time, and their legs are just barely hitting the ground as I'm sitting there in a full sprint. I feel like that's what we might see with the Lakers at times. Because we know how Russell Westbrook plays the game. It's a full sprint, full tilt. But LeBron James is a little more methodical at this age in his career. He's trying to go down in a calculated motion. So I don't think it's a good fit, not because they don't want it to be mentally, but the styles of play, the styles that make the fights or the styles that make the team, they just clash.
Oh, man, I have to disagree with you guys. I see this being amazing all the way through. Slick went there with me, at least in the regular season, so I don't have to push back too hard. It's pretty obvious that Russell Westbrook will do it all and will do the dirty work, which is going to help an older team, especially a LeBron-led team, where LeBron in the regular season is just an ultimate game manager. He'll do anything you need him to do. He'll make those splash plays. He'll go out there and be fast in transition, etc. But it's only out of necessity intensity to keep the things going, to spread the energy around, etc. LeBron's trying to get to the postseason, and then he's going to strike. We all see that, right? So let's talk about what LeBron and Russ do well and will do well together. Now you have two of the league's best scorers in the open court, and LeBron and Westbrook. Remind you guys, last year in points per game in transition, Russell Westbrook and LeBron tied for third, only behind Giannis and Jaylen Brown. Okay, so that means we're going to have two guys that can do it in the open court. Now, how is that going to help the Lakers? I'll tell you in two ways. One, if you look at the Lakers last year, they had a problem with guys penetrating through the paint. Some are saying that LeBron doesn't turn the corner the same. I think he does in the playoffs when he's healthy, but at the same time, in the regular season, he ain't trying to exert all that effort. Why do I know that? Because if you look at it last year, Dennis Schroeder led the Lakers with 13 drives per game. Russell Westbrook would have led the Lakers if he were on this team with 18. Styles make fights. Acho says styles make teams. His style helps this team. More so, it helps this team when LeBron James has to sit down. And LeBron James, going to be 37 years old, will have to sit down. Let's talk about last year when LeBron James sat down. Lakers went from 14th to 28th in offensive efficiency when he sat down. 112 points to 105 points. Russell Westbrook brings in his 22 points per game. And because of his energy level, you can now start to bring these guys in Tetris. You can play together, start together, but then he can sit there and lag while LeBron gets his rest, and then LeBron comes back in, etc. You can stagger them. Russell Westbrook almost averaged 12 assists also last year. This is a Lakers team that was 8th in the West. 8th in the West in assists per game. So everywhere I see an issue with the Lakers, I see a strength with Russell Westbrook. But the most important one of all is the fact that Russell Westbrook was the most efficient he's ever been in his entire career when he was off ball in Houston. That's why Russell Westbrook led his press conference saying, it doesn't matter if I'm on the ball, I can still have impact. The most efficient we've ever seen him is when he was with Harden. Now you're going to see it with LeBron James.
Real quick, though, Slick, before we get to you, Sel, I have to counter that lie. And it's only a lie because you were told it as the truth, but statistically it is incorrect. So it's not your fault.
What?
Russell Westbrook is second in the NBA in points scored and assisted on. He's second. So how dare Russell Westbrook say that he can contribute off ball, because he's never had to. What? Last year in the league, he either has the ball and is scoring, or he has the ball and he's passing. So maybe Westbrook can be great off ball. But I'm looking at it. I mean, literally, he just ain't been great off ball because he's been so great with the ball in his hand. Third last year in teams' percentage of points scored or assisted on. And so I'm not blaming you for the lie. I just don't know that Russell Westbrook's not fully accurate.
Hold on. He shot 47%, a little over it, in Houston. Russell Westbrook ain't never shot over 45% in his career. Okay. And he averaged 27 points a game in Houston. You trying to tell me that's a lie?
No,
the dude was off ball?
No, I'm saying the lie is Westbrook is used to being the primary handler.
I know he's used to it.
Jim Jackson corrected me one day when I was like, man, Westbrook is getting all these boards and getting all these assists. And it was either Slick or Jim Jackson said, hey, don't be fooled, Dacho. Getting assists can also be selfish, because it means that you're going to keep the ball in your hands trying to get to the cup, and you make sure that you're the one making the pass. So I'm like, maybe I've been deceived by some of these stats. Go ahead, Slick.
Yeah, no, assists can be deceiving. It means that you're holding the ball, and I'm either going to score or I'm handing it to the guy who's going to score. I'm never passing it along to get the hockey assist and just let the game flow. I'm trying to dominate the game in every way. But Marcellus, you said that I led you to your point. You're leading me to my next one. Because honestly, the combination of Russ and LeBron in the regular season and that change of pace that Acho referred to, that can be advantageous during the regular season. Right. But you're not going to mix and match when you get to the playoffs. Those two are going to be on the floor all the time. You're not subbing and stretching it out during the playoffs. You're going to have your best players on the floor all the time, and they're going to have to be in sync. But this is my issue. This sharing the ball thing is kind of is an outlier in terms of what their issues are going to be. The greater issues are that you have Frank Vogel now without Jason Kidd or Lionel Hollins on his staff, and he now has to deal with not just AD and LeBron, but AD and LeBron and Carmelo Anthony and Russ Westbrook. Those are a lot of high-profile personalities